Distinguished guests, my lords, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I just wanted to give a small reflection on what it means to be a member of one or other of the houses in this great place. I've been a member of one or other of the houses. Unfortunately, you can't do both at the same time, for most of the last 38 years. And I've always counted it as one of the enormous privileges of being a member of either the Commons or the Lords, to be able to come in a completely non-political way to a meeting like this to encourage improved and developing international relations, especially with countries that we enjoy meeting and doing business with. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to say a few words here today. My own contact with Nigeria came about in a slightly unusual way. It wasn't about trade at all, though I absolutely support the aims and objectives of this mission and summit. I used to be the United Kingdom's independent reviewer of terrorism legislation, and the first time I was invited to visit Nigeria, I was invited to go to the capital and talk to judges and senior lawyers about the conduct of terrorism trials and the issues behind them. I knew that it would be worth doing because I had known when I was very young a lot of equally young Nigerian lawyers who were training in Gray's Inn, my Inn of Court, and in the university I was at. And I was not to be disappointed. Although things are done differently, and this is relevant to something I'm going to say in a moment, we actually share a common legal heritage. And that is very important in the context of trade and industry. And in talking to judges there about in Nigeria about the conduct of very difficult trials, terrorism trials, and we had had more terrorism trials than most because of the history of Ireland and Northern Ireland. I found a willing but not pushover audience in which we were able to exchange views and hopefully share equally in contributing to each other's understanding of that difficult issue. One of the things that is absolutely essential when one is improving investment opportunities between two great countries is that when people make deals, they need to be confident that those deals will be covered by a common, shared and reliable legal system. I used to be the chair of the Senior Disciplinary Committee of Lloyd's of London, the insurance market, so I learned quite a lot there. Why pay shed loads of money to political risks insurers if you can have a contractual system which will be treated in equal terms in both countries, and therefore there's not much to insure through political risks insurance? And so I would like to be able to contribute in some way, if it's possible, to the establishment of common legal standards which can be determined according to our common law shared legal principles in relation to business deals between the two countries. Without that commonality of law and of legal principles, it is actually very difficult to do really big deals which will not attract endless fees to people like me. I refer to myself as a lawyer in that context, who are obviously very happy to be instructed in years-long trade disputes, but actually there are better ways of doing business, and the lawyers don't actually need that work anyway. So I hope that in the development of this Mission Summit, there will be a stupendous trade deal. We do understand how large Nigeria is, what an enormous market it is, what you have in natural resources. And some of the traditions which we share are important in reaching such agreements, not least that legal tradition to which I've referred. So with those few words, can I thank you for coming to the Palace of Westminster today, welcome you as our very, very welcome visitors, and wish you well for the few days of this discussion. Thank you.